how you do it. That's how it's done. And we're still not done. So after this, we're still.
Yeah, we'll still be hanging out. We'll still be hard at work.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's good. How about Alisher? Alisher, you on mic yet?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
How you doing, Alisher? Are you in New York or are you in Connecticut?
No, I'm here in Connecticut. I'm upstairs in the studio.
Oh, cool. Seems like you guys have a lot of space there.
Wait, what was that? Sorry, the audio on Android for some reason is so terrible.
Oh, I know. I know. Tell me about it. So yeah, I want to welcome everybody. Hey, Hallie, how you doing?
Hi, Sharon. I'm doing well. Just got off of work, and I'm really excited for tonight's
Cool.
space.
Are you East Coast, West Coast?
I'm SoCal. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's cool. Yeah, I'm up in NorCal, so not that far. Couple hours. Did you grow up in SoCal?
I did. Yes, I've been here my whole life. What about you? Have you been in NorCal for a while?
No, I lived in Germany almost all my life. So I moved here 4 years ago, about.
Oh wow, that's incredible.
It is. And I don't miss a thing. So I'm happy to be here.
I bet it's so cold over there, huh?
In Germany, yes, but it's getting cold here too. I can't complain. I mean, people are going to laugh at me. I mean, but I'm freezing. So you get used to your environment and you feel when it gets colder. So yeah, I had a feeling I was getting sick 2 days ago. It started on Wednesday, I think, or was it Tuesday evening? I'm not really sure. I had a runny nose and all that stuff, but it didn't last for long. So I'm doing good. I'm happy that I'm doing better now. It lasted for about 12 hours, so I'm happy that it didn't take over completely.
Colds are the worst, especially when they're the short-lived ones, but I'm glad that it was, only about 12 hours for you.
Yeah. I'm happy too, because I have so much to do. I have no time to be sick. That would be a problem. I would be working from bed. I couldn't stop. That would be definitely an issue for me. Can't do it. So Alisher, I see that you already made a post. Let me put that up at the top if you haven't already. We'll pin that to the top so that everybody knows where we are. We did a little recap yesterday, Kirk and I, and we basically went through the steps till neon. So we implemented that. I'm not sure, did we do Stripe last week, Alisher?
Yeah, we connected it, I think.
Okay. And we're doing Grok today. What are we using Grok for?
For the transcription part. So we're going to need to figure out a few things. They have really good transcription. I was testing it earlier.
Whisper.
It's free so far, and it's pretty fast. So we'll see. It's pretty easy to integrate too. We just need to figure out how to chop up these audios, right? So if you have an audio, how do you turn it into nice little chunks for Grok to transcribe? Because they have a limit. I think they have like where is it? Like, they have a 25 megabyte limit.
25 megabyte. Are we using Whisper? Are we using Whisper on Grok, or what are we using?
Yeah, so it's this Whisper model from Hugging Face that they just added. It's pretty cheap, and So far, I haven't hit like a rate limit. I've been testing it here and there throughout the week.
So how did you figure out the transcription process? That worked out, right? So we actually were able to download a link, right? Or explain shortly again what the process is. So getting the Spaces link and then, you know,
So let's not worry about downloading the Spaces just yet.
okay.
I'll probably release something where you guys can do it yourself. It's gonna be like a piece of code.
Mhm.
I'll probably open source that. But this is
Mhm.
pretty much we're gonna just build like a page where you can transcribe any audio, no matter how long it is.
Okay,
So
cool.
so you can test it with whatever audio you have, and then we'll add an option where you can go and download a space.
Okay, that's cool. So how do you want to go about it? So we basically already have our wrapper. And do we want to change something or just keep as is and see where we can put things in? Or what were your thoughts?
Yeah. So right now let's take a look at this local version that I have running. It should just be the basic SAS template.
Mm-hmm.
And so ideally, what you want to do is you want the user to log in. I think there's an account already.
So if anyone, so I don't know, Hallie, if you want to go through this process. I mean, did you already do it or not? Are you just here to listen in, or do you want to join and actually build with us?
I haven't started, so I would have to go and review those, right?
Yeah, you would. Well, basically, I mean, we did a recap yesterday. We had a video. I mean, it's basically not that hard. So I could probably walk you through the process quickly. I don't know, Alicia, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, sure. This is pretty much the project that we used in week 1, right? Where we
Yeah.
had a little SAS template with nothing in it. It could
Okay.
just charge people money through Stripe.
Yeah. So remember, Hallie, you were there from week 1.
Yes.
For anybody else in the room, if anybody wants to build with us, I would recommend you guys come up and speak. We could get you started. The only thing that you would need to have already set is Visual Studio Code, basically. So that would be what you would need to get started. Yeah, so Hallie, week 1, we did that SAS starter kit. We set that up, remember? That is basically what you need. If you have that, then you're good to go.
So I
Because
just plug in my next SAS starter, like in the documents.
exactly,
Okay.
you can just open it up. So you grab that project and open it up with VS Code. That's basically all you do. And then you're basically good to go. We already took it a step further. I think we even deployed it, didn't we? We even deployed it on Vercel. So you're even a step further, a step ahead. We had the Neon, the database that we implemented. So you should be set, basically.
Yeah, you might need to remake the Neon database just because I think after week 1 we might have deleted it, and now Neon lets you make up to 10 databases for free.
So
So
I see that on Neon, I have my like Canva project. So I would just click new project, right?
yeah.
Is it just the default to create the project? There's no like different type of Postgres or anything?
I think you can keep it at Postgres 16. But the rest of it, yeah, it's gonna be pretty much the same.
Yeah, I just started the whole project over, so I'll pull it up now. You have it too, Kirk, don't you? Yeah. You're all set, probably.
Yeah, I have it. I had it running. I broke it, but I'm working on it right now. It was
We
working
break stuff
yesterday.
here. That's how we do it. We break stuff. That's our job. We break stuff. That's the most fun part, is breaking stuff and then trying to fix it. And then you pull out your hair in between and you hope that your hair grows back. After you then fixed your project, your hair is gone. And then you just pray to the hair gods that your hair comes back. Yeah.
That's the only thing we can't fix.
But it's fun. It really is. So I'm going to open two. I have to set up Stripe, but I can basically just copy because I didn't push to production, Alisher, so I can use the same keys again, right? Because I didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, you could just make sure they're the test keys so you can
Yeah.
actually test.
Okay.
And same for Stripe, I would just make a new account.
You could just make a new account just to test, yeah, and call it something like I called mine Transcription SaaS because this is ultimately going to be a place where people can go and just transcribe and also eventually download their spaces as soon as I figure out how to put that up online.
My question, Alisher, can I just rename my project? Can I do that?
I think so.
I didn't push to production or so I can rename it, right? Because it's still called Next SaaS Starter. I'm going to get so confused. I gotta
Yeah,
rename.
you can rename it.
Okay.
You should be able to rename it regardless. It should all connect.
For Stripe, we only need the secret key for, no, we need webhook too, but we're gonna do that later, right? Or do we need that
Yeah.
right away?
You can do the webhook later. I think you can only really do it after you launch it on Vercel,
Yeah,
unless
exactly.
you have the Stripe CLI, which is a little bit annoying to install and then set up and log into. But we can skip that until we launch it live.
Okay. Kirk, tell us when you're ready, if you are able to fix it or if you need help.
Yeah, I renamed the project file because I had same issue, and then when I did that, I'm having all kinds of issues. So
This is a stupid question, but how can I rename it? Do I need to exit out of my Visual Studio Code before I can rename it?
I would do your file that you have on your desktop. I would probably rename that and then just reopen. I don't know. Alisher, what are your thoughts?
Best way to rename it is to go to github.com, go to repositories, and then here, for example, I have my transcription SaaS. You can rename it here in the settings. So it's on the github.com side. In settings, that's the best way to rename it.
Well, I downloaded the zip, so I didn't fork it.
So you're saying
Oh, so
to
you
fork
didn't
it
commit it
again?
yet. I see. So if you didn't commit it yet, then the best way to rename it would be to just rename the folder, yeah. Because once you commit it is when it's going to ask you for the actual name.
So I shouldn't fork it again?
Oh, if you fork it, you do the
Um,
way Alisher did it.
It
The
might
way-
not allow you to fork it again. You could just use the old fork. Like if you already have it connected through GitHub Desktop from week 1, you can just keep using that one. I think that's probably properly connected already for you, and you might already even have it in Vercel.
Okay, I see that it's in my GitHub, the Next SaaS Starter. So sorry to ask again. You're saying to rename that part?
You don't have to. But yeah, you could rename it to make it a little bit more descriptive to what you're building. But totally optional. As long as you know what it is and where it is, that's all that matters. I would say the important part is that you connect Neon if you're just starting and you just remade your database. So you get that Neon database URL, and you might need to run a few commands to actually populate your database. And those commands are, let me see. They're somewhere in the readme, but I think they're also on the front page.
So you're saying to take the Postgres and put it into the Visual Studio Code?
Yeah, in your env for that project. Just make sure you're in the right project. You can go to VS Code, go to File, and then if you go to Open Recents, make sure you have selected the starter and not the Wednesday project, because that's probably what most of us have opened.
Yeah, you can go ahead and just move on whenever, because I think I've got a mess here. So
And you might already have Stripe in there, highlight from week 1. You just need to run the 2 commands, or is it? Yeah, probably like 3 commands to populate the new database since we deleted the old one. And then you should be up to speed. That's pretty much all we did, is just set up this starter project so we have a starting point. And then today we're gonna add the function part of it, where people can go and transcribe. And there's a few things we gotta figure out there.
I just want to say hi to everybody. Hi, Kelly. I hope you're well, dear. Ronan, and then we have Dee. If you guys want to do this with us, feel free to come up and speak. Other than that, we should have a live up in a moment. Are we going to do a live, Alisher, or?
It's up.
Oh, it's already up. Cool. Cool.
Yeah. I just have to add a link. I forgot. Let's see. I'll put in the ITT link.
Okay.
This link is wrong. let's see, while we're setting up, we're gonna start on this transcription feature. How about you, Sharon? Were you able to set it up locally?
Well, yeah, it's
Nice.
running. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's up and running.
Have you tried logging in?
I'm logging in with that test.
As long as that works.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
works. Yeah. I just want to double
Perfect.
check. I was playing around yesterday. I just want to double check my my Postgres link if it's the right one. I think it is. Because I built it from scratch because of the recap yesterday, so I thought I would just do it again. And I just want to see if I have that right link in, and then I'll boot it. I'll start the local host in a moment. I didn't yet, but I'll do it now.
Okay, I fixed it all. It's up and running again.
Woohoo! And PM dev. Let me see.
That's the one.
That's the one, isn't it? Command failed. Why? Oh, wait a minute. Let me do, listen. I don't understand why I have to do, let me do install. I don't know. I think this is.
Yeah, when I renamed it, I had to run and install again. And then I went ahead and ran.
Why? That's so strange. No, I'm gonna do something else. Proceed, no. Let me see. We had that same dumb thing yesterday. Yeah, oh, I know why I changed I gotta do the migrate. I have to do the Postgres. I have to do that. It's DB, it's PM DB migrate, right?
Yeah, DB :migrate.
Let's see. Yeah.
Yeah, because they changed the Postgres link, so that's why it didn't work. Okay, yeah, that worked. Oh, it says, okay, already exists. So let me do DB. And then seed, let me see. Okay, that works.
I was able to sign in, so that's working.
This seems like a glitch. You see, I just ran it again. I don't know. Sometimes VS Code is kind of funky. I got an error first, and then I just did it again, and now I don't have the error anymore. Which is kind of funny. So let me see if I can log in. You remember, Kirk, I had that same error yesterday. Remember?
Yeah, it happens.
Oh, I don't know what the heck that is. We'll figure it out if it's something more subtle. But,
Yeah, I had the same error. So
right? That's strange, isn't it? So, whatever, it works. That's
npm dev works, and I'm logged in using the test login.
Hallie, are you logged in too?
I'm a little bit behind. I just
Tell us.
imported my transcription SAS. I had to redo it. So I'm trying to get that into Visual Studio Code. Do I just open up a new file and then find or
A file on your computer now?
So what you can do is from GitHub Desktop, there's an option in GitHub Desktop to open in Visual Studio Code. It's under repository, and it says open in Visual Studio Code, and they'll open the whole project for you. You can also in Visual Studio Code, you can go to, I think it's File, Open Folder, and then open the folder of the project that you're trying to open. I have it here.
okay, that's what I'm trying to do. Okay, I think I got it all the way into VS Code.
Nice. And now make sure you have an env file with your env variables.
Okay, I have them. I just need to, switch out the
Yep.
Postgres for the other one.
Alisher, where do we find, oh, I already see it. So the design parts is under app, right? Dashboard and all that fancy stuff. I see. That's all good. I found it.
Yeah. And we're going to see, because I'm going to give the whole repository to Claude right now, and it'll tell us where to put everything exactly.
Okay.
Because the dashboard folder is essentially folder only accessible when you log in. So there's like that login protection there.
Let me go on the ITT. Let me. Innovators Think Tank. So I can look at the live.
And then today we're also going to be using Grok with a Q for transcription. Any of you are familiar with that?
Yeah,
like the cheap.
do we need the API? That's all we need?
Yeah, you are going to need an API. They have a JavaScript package, so that's good. It's going to be nice and easy. I'm just going to grab the docs here and give it to the AI. And we're going to be using the still model. It's when I was looking at the pricing, it's the cheapest one. It's 2 cents per hour. It's a steal.
Well, that is, well, wait a minute, what docs are you talking about? You're grabbing the, you're gonna feed it to Claude to ask it how to, what are you doing with the docs?
I'm just asking Claude how to add a transcription to my app.
Oh, okay. You mean the GitHub docs, or what do you, or the Grok? Which docs are you referring to?
Grok.
Can you just clarify again, Sharon, what we're supposed to have right now?
So basically can you log in to that, to the SAS? Are you able to log in? So you have it in Visual Studio Code open now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you probably have to run a couple of commands. Did you run any commands yet?
No, I haven't.
Well, then I would start off with pnpm and then space install. Is that correct, Alicia?
So I have a Mac, so
yeah.
it might be a little different, huh?
You might need to add sudo in the beginning.
Sudo pnp.
Sudo pnpm.
So pn and then pm.
Yeah.
Oh, Mac is special, huh? No, I don't have a Mac.
Okay. Yeah, I ran that.
So then, if that's all good, then you're going to, so did you enter all your keys, or at least the Postgres you did, right?
Yes.
Okay, well then, next command would be then pnpm. I don't know what you have to put before that. And then migrate. So it's pnpm db, and then those two dots. What is that called? Not semicolon. What is it called, Kirk?
Colon.
Colon. There we go. Colon, and then migrate. migrate.
Yeah, that one didn't work, so I'll go to AI Tutor.
You don't have to. So what I would recommend you do, you go to the GitHub repository, right? Then you go to the README file. Okay? And there you have all the commands. Maybe we just misspelled it. Maybe, that's probably the reason. And you can just copy it. I don't know what you have to put before it since you're using a Mac. But go into the README file. It's explained really easily, and then you can ask me if you have questions.
Okay, I'm gonna do that now.
Did she run pnpm, like sudo pnpm install?
She did that. Oh, and you see on the stream, you see Alicia, the stream shows
Yeah, I put it in right. I think it's just a Mac error, so I need to find out what else to put in front of it.
Alicia, can I ask you something? Because there's setup. I didn't do setup at all. Is that why it's throwing an error for me?
Probably not. I didn't do setup either.
Okay.
I think once you do migrate and seed, it like resolves itself.
Okay. So let me go on to Grok 2 because we're going to need the API key. Do we need Hugging Face at all? Alisher, which docs did you, oh, Whisper Large is here on Grok, so we don't even need Hugging Face, do we?
No, you don't. It's here, yeah. It's straight
yeah.
from Hugging Face.
Oh, okay, cool. So what documentation did you feed it? Which document?
Speech.
The speech one, right? I thought so.
Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was testing. It's actually really quick as well. I tried the Google one even because we have those Google credits, and Google just was taking a while in comparison.
Well, I mean, that's what makes it really easy. If it's on Grok, I mean, then that's really cool, right? It's gonna make our lives easier, of course.
That's the goal.
And what I also love, when you feed the AI the documentation, I mean, the AI understands it then right away. It's so fun. Let me know if you need anything, Hallie.
So now it's telling me to install Homebrew.
What is that?
I have no idea. It's saying that my Postgres, I went to AI Tutor because I am having some issues that I haven't seen before. Am I able to share screen, or is it just live? If it's okay if not.
I can send you a link. I can DM you a link where you can log in and share your screen, just like the regular Wednesday spaces.
Okay, thank you, Alisher.
Oh, what do we got here? Grok API key, okay. Let me make one.
And yeah, this tab has like the very new structure as well, where it has these routes and pages. So if you're asking AI Tutor, just watch out. You're gonna end up creating quite a lot of folders.
Oh.
So you wanna make sure that you're creating them in the right places.
Okay. Question, Alisher. Do we, would we then have to, so the free tier is probably not going to work with Grok, right?
Actually, what I've been testing so far on the free tier.
Oh, okay, cool. Can you, so you have, oh no, okay, it's all good, it's all good, all good. I'll just grab the documentation myself and then feed it to the AI and I'll just follow along.
Yeah, it might even give you a different answer, actually. So it might be like an easier answer. This looks like it's taking me a pretty complicated way.
Well, I'm going to be asking Claude myself, so we'll see. Or shall I try a different? I can try GPT.
Try Claude, and what are you going to use? Are you going to use Multipod?
No, I'm just going to, I have the developer as my best friend. Or you want me to try something else?
No, I'm a developer.
That's good. Where? When you're ready, share your screen. I want to just look at your project.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it says localhost right there, it says local HTTP localhost. Control click on that.
Oh, for Hallie, yeah. So for you, Hallie, in your terminal, you can control click that localhost 3000 link. And Sharon, what did you want to see on my screen? I switched over.
I just want to see your project. Okay.
Let me switch back to my screen share. Hang on. It's having me add a lot of interesting code here. We'll see if it actually all works. And if all else fails, I'll just make the other code that I was working on earlier today public. And then you guys can just go to the hosted version. That should work.
Well, I'm implementing these files myself to see if it works.
Now the typical process is, let's see how many errors I have. Looks like I only have 8. Not too bad. Start with the first one. Typically, some of these you can just fix by what's called refactoring, which is relinking them. Sometimes the AI doesn't really know where things are in your project.
Yeah, I had that same problem with a different project. So you're just relinking files, or?
Yeah, pretty much. It's in these import statements. You can just delete everything inside of the quotes and start retyping it, and you'll find it. It'll like autofill itself.
So you're restructuring where the file is, right?
Yeah. Looks like nice. We're down to only 5 errors. And then sometimes VS Code gives you a solution as well. So for example, it looks like here I'm having a type error, and all I have to do is just click quick fix, and then it'll try to infer what I really meant by this piece of code. And now it looks like, ooh, I found peg. Let's see if I can do anything about it. Now, whenever you need to install a package, so for this, you're going to need to install Grok SDK. Remember, you're not using npm install. You're going to need to use pnpm install. So I'm going to use pnpm install and try to install this package if it even exists. Looks like it did add 2 packages, but did not resolve my error. Now it looks like I'm missing Grok SDK as well. So similar process, pnpm install Grok SDK. We'll typically solve these import errors for you where you're missing packages.
Okay, Grok SDK, okay.
And there you go. I'm down to 4 errors, not too bad. Let's let me start with this one. I'll start with the processor.
Okay. Yeah, my error is I have to also install something, so that's why. So. It's pnpm, oops.
And you can ask AI Tutor as well. So for some of these, the package that you're using might not be
Yeah,
like the same as what it says in the import. Also,
That's
since
what I
you
yeah, that's what I did. I gave it the error and and it tells me what I need to do. You know, the beauty is when you run into these errors, right? That's when you actually learn something. That's when I learned the most.
Yeah, and you could also ask it for like a more in-depth explanation. Because typically it's just very code output focused.
Yeah. No, that really
Like,
helps me a lot. I mean, the updated Claude usually explains automatically, which I find interesting because it didn't do that before.
So I see you have a lot of different terminals open, or not terminals, a lot of different files opened up on the top. What's the first one that I would open up?
You actually
so
have to implement files.
yeah,
I
so a
don't,
lot of these, what you want to start with is you want to go to AI Tutor and start by giving it the full code, right? So you can use this repo to text that we used before. It's one of the links I think in the jumbotron, and you can convert the whole repository into a piece of text that you can give to AI Tutor, and then you can start asking it to implement different features, right? So the feature that we want to implement is transcription through Grok with a Q. They have some cheap, good transcription, and so that's what we started with. right, is we gave it the full code for the whole app, and then we just asked, well, let's create a transcription page.
Yeah, I'm going the hard way. I didn't do that. I'm going the hard way now with the hard way.
So you're saying I take the GitHub URL from Lee Rob and put that into
Yeah.
the converter?
Yep.
Is there any way, Alisher, that you can send me that as a zip file?
Which part specifically?
The whole code that you just ran through your GitHub converter? Does it download as a zip file? No, huh? I forgot how it happens.
No, I think you could get a text file though. So let me.
Don't worry. Is it really big, the text file?
Probably not.
Well, then send it. Can you send it in Slack? Then we don't have to do that step.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Slack is a good
Yeah,
part.
send it to us in Slack. Then I'll just start over because I'm going the hard way with AI now. I was a little bit too lazy now. Do you have it, Hallie? Oh no, that's not your screen. Because Hallie, have you done that before with the GitHub converter?
No, I haven't, but I did get it fetched me the directory structure. I just don't know where to go from here.
Well, what you do, you can copy to clipboard, and then you paste it in the context field.
So what you want to do is you want to scroll down and generate the text file. So it turns all those files into one giant text file. And then you can use that text file in AI Tutor and Multibot, whichever one you're using.
Okay, and that's where you told AI Tutor that you want to implement a transcription, correct?
Yeah. Yep. And for you, Sharon, let me send this file right now.
Yeah, I'm lazy. I'm sorry. Hi, Ronan. Welcome to the space. I'm like Nick. I'm doing the Nick today. I'm lazy. Can you send me the ENV file? That's so funny. Hi, Ronan. How you doing?
Hi, Sharon. Hi, everyone. I'm doing well. I request the mic just to introduce myself. I know I don't want to disturb you. I just want to say hi, and because I have been watching for a long time, and I know I might seem crazy. I just want to say hi. I thought amazing what you are doing here, and really enjoy that.
Well, that's cool. I'm happy that you came up to say hi. Do you code? Do you do anything with AI?
Yeah, I encode and I do something really similar what you're doing right now, and I find very interesting because that I hope one day I want to try to do the same thing, hosting space like that and shared knowledge. And
That's cool.
I want to learn with what you do here right now. I don't speak so much because English is not my first language, and I not so comfortable with speaking in English.
But we understand you pretty well, Ronan. What you have to do is just you have to speak. The more you
Exactly.
speak, the better it is. We understand you very well. So do not worry. We're happy to have you. If you have any questions, anytime. Yeah, this is basically how Alisher taught us to build with AI, right? Alisher is a developer. He built tools with his team. It's a Pixio and an AI Tutor. And we're using AI Tutor right now. So with AI Tutor, we have access to over 100 models, I believe. So we can talk to many, many LLMs, and AI Tutor has all kinds of features. We have all kinds of really freaky, awesome stuff. We even have a visual builder in AI Tutor. So an AI that can give us some ideas on visual things, right? Like a button or a complete, I'm building an audio visualizer player for my website, and I did that with artifacts. So AI Tutor can do a lot. So if you need any information on that or any help, if you're looking for an AI tool that can really help you and accelerate your process, AI Tutor is a good choice. Yeah, that's what we're using. We're all beginners. So some of us have been coding a little bit longer, but I started about 6 months ago with Alisher and his team. They have taught us how to use AI to build stuff and just basically to learn to code with AI. So it's been really fun. And yeah, and we're building stuff. It's amazing.
You are doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you. And we always break stuff. So things break and then we have to fix it. And that's the best part, because when you fix it, you're just so happy. It's cool. Thanks,
I need to
Alex.
back.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt again.
No,
I need to back my job. I working right now, because that I don't speak so much. Also,
Okay.
thank
Yeah,
you
of
so much.
course. Yeah, thanks so much for stopping by. And anytime, we're here every Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday.
Yeah.
Where do you get the token at for the private repository on GitHub? Where do you find that?
Oh, let me see. Let me check my GitHub.
You've walked us through it before. I just don't have the notes on it.
I see repository secrets and settings. That could be one of those things. Maybe not. It could also be like
personal access token is what I'm looking for.
access token. All right. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I've never used it with a private repo. Not yet. If you have Ultra, you can actually use Beam and upload all your files in there besides the node modules.
Okay.
You can drop like the whole folder of files. That was the last thing I did. I see SSH keys, but I don't think they'll help. Oh, personal access token. I actually found it. It's in your settings. GitHub.com/settings/developers. Personal access tokens.
Hey, Dave, how's it going? Haven't talked to you in a hot minute. How you doing, best friend?
That must be directed at me, is it?
How late is it in Britain? No, you're not in Britain. Where are you, in Ireland or in, wait a minute. I'm confused now. Ireland or in, yeah, you're in Ireland.
No, Canada. Can you not tell by my accent?
Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha.
Hey, take a joke, honey.
I will.
It is 1:26 a.m. and you know me, I'm a night owl. I'm like,
Oh,
Van Gogh painted at night, so Da Vinci wrote at night, Rembrandt stayed up till 5 a.m. It's like, it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me.
Oh, for me too. I had to laugh because you know what? I was on Brian Johnson's page, right? The Don't Die guy. And he's like, when he did a post like, and when I see people that just sleep 4 hours, I'm just like, are you crazy? Well, I'm probably gonna die soon because I sleep 4 to 5 hours.
I know I sleep 7 hours. Like, just don't wake me in the morning. Don't wake me early in the morning. I will murder you.
What do you do
I'm
with
a
the
night.
kids?
Well, I'm lucky. I don't stay up till like 2 a.m. every single night, and my kids will get up in the morning. They will come in and they will sit in their bed and they will color. They will sit on their tablet, and then we will all groggy kind of go downstairs at like kind of 9:30, something like that.
I like that. Yep, that's a good way. That's just let the kid come in or the
Well,
kids
yeah,
and let
like
them.
my wife is more of a morning person. My son's a morning person, and then my daughter is, a night owl like me. So, like, the two of us would chill out for longer in bed, while the two of them would get tired earlier in the evening than we would. Oh my
Cool.
God,
That's
Sharon, I forgot to tell you, I made the most amazing GPT. It's so fucking cool.
Tell me about it.
Literally. So I took a course on launching a product or a service or whatever you wanted to sell, but the idea was, let's figure out a time frame of something you want to sell, and let's market this, and let's build it up, and let's do some emails and content pre-launch, during launch, post-launch. And
Oh, Kirk is a pro. Kirk has 40 GPTs. Magic. Kirk's GPTs are
I
magic.
like it. But the course I took was using AI, and AI was going to generate a plan for me. So I gave it all of the content and told her we're running a membership, and it starts telling me that I'm selling an app. I'm like, I'm not selling a fucking app. The worst AI ever by an expert in AI that I really respect, that I've spent, a few $1,000s on previous courses with them. I'm so disappointed. I'm going back like next week to say I want a refund. Like, I'm actually friends with them, but I'm going to say I'm actually disappointed in you. I want a refund. But out of frustration, I built a GPT just called Launch Lab. And basically, you just tell it, I have 1 week to launch a product, or I have 1 month to launch a product. And it gives you suggested social posts, gives you the amount of emails you should send out, the type of emails, content ideas, the emotional quadrants that your launch is going to cover. It's phenomenal. And it goes hand in hand with a GPT I made a few weeks ago called Warren Tweety. And Warren Tweety creates 20 tweets from one idea, but the tweets are based on 4 emotional quadrants and 5 levels of customer awareness. So he uses psychology and behavioral insights and emotional intelligence. And basically, I take my top performing tweet, give it back to Warren, and he gives me new angles to share the same stuff from. It's so cool.
I love that. Well, I learned so much from Kirk because he's been building. I mean, he builds agents and all kinds of stuff. So I learned so much also when it comes to system prompting, because that's kind of, if you have a pro that's giving you a GPT and it doesn't do what you want, then what is the use, right? You don't want your GPT to lead you astray. That would be awful. So cool. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And you know what I'm interested in
I've got a
is,
prompt engine.
Kirk,
Just-
how do you protect your prompts IP inside your GPT?
Prompt security. It's the last part of the system prompt. At the end,
Give me
you build in
a
some-
prompt security for dummies 101. Like,
Well, you have to identify all the different types of ways that people try to exploit, getting the prompt, and then run that through, the AI, and then have that as a block of text at the end. And you can also throw a password in there if you want as well. Like unless his password is used, nobody
Oh,
can.
that's fucking genius. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I
And
never
that
thought of
will
putting a
that'll
password in. That's so clever.
Oh, you're learning stuff,
and that
Dave. You're learning stuff
Yeah,
here.
yeah. No,
that
I
will
have one which goes through the series of first we tell you it's not nice to ask for this, and you can email us if you want to talk. And if they ask a second time, it tells them, I'm not going to continue talking about this. I've already told you once, and the third time it's like we're no longer going to speak if you ask again.
That's so
And
funny.
it
Oh,
seems to work, but I really like it's kind of like what Ross done. What did I call it? I called it a consequence ladder. That
that is
each
so
time
funny.
you make a mistake, something worse is going to happen. It's basically like discipline in the workplace.
That is so cool. Kurt, go ahead. I see that you unmuted. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's Zen is launching his new Paradigm City, and there is a prompt security agent in there, which will build robust and secure prompts, which are uncrackable. Like in other words, we actually had a hackathon to break GPTs that we built, and as a result, built an unhackable thing. So there's another option. You could build a GPT for the purpose of break this, give you something, I don't know, and then
Yeah,
if
yeah,
they don't,
just something
then you
arbitrary
just
that if you
track.
break it,
Yeah,
it's like, well done, you've won the prize.
right. But so we had like the Princess and the Pea type thing, and it was Rescue the Princess or something like that, and so people ran all of their different things, and you keep track of all the different types of attacks, and then build a prompt to run all the attacks. That's it. It doesn't mean that there isn't going to be a new attack, or if they change the model architecture, it doesn't change. Like you still have to re-engineer your prompt
Yeah,
security.
well, the reason I'm doing it is because what's happening is people are believing they will join Scale with AI. They'll pay us $20, and they will take all the information, and they'll all of a sudden be an AI expert guru. And I've seen a number of people launch communities using our stuff, and I mean literally changing one word. Some people have launched businesses, and instead of Scale with AI, they've just changed one word in the business name and launched some stuff. So I'm trying to move away from just giving it the outright prompt for those people, but also for people who are new with AI. I find that giving somebody, a big mega prompt is quite daunting and intimidating for them as well. So it kind of serves two purposes. But I'm I'm really surprised with the amount of people that are just going in, and like we'd one person, and you can literally see on the activity inside Substack, you can see this as well, Sharon, but you can see like a day before they cancel, they just go into like 20 articles, and you just know what they're doing. They're just taking everything.
But you know what's cool? So one thing I think would be cool. I mean, Dave, you're a pro. I learned so much from you. But you know what would be cool if you really do modules and they can only access a model when they really finish the module before, or you launch them just, I don't know, weeks. I don't know how else. There will probably be a way to do that. But you know what's funny? They're going to need new information, right? So they're going to have to come back to you and pay so that
But
they can.
that's actually what I was considering, and I really value your opinion on this, Kirk, is because we have a subscription and we give somebody a link to a GPT. Let's say they cancel their subscription. I'm thinking about a way to like version control the GPT to basically make a new GPT when we make improvements to it. Let's say every 6 months I update a prompt. Well, I'm thinking about not updating the existing prompt, but making a new prompt and updating the link for all members. But going back to the existing prompt, which was version 1, and saying version 1 is now redundant. That's all the prompt will output when you interact with it. It will just spit back a message say, this is version 1. To access version 2, click here, which will be a link back to the original article, which has a paywall that all members get to see the link to the new GPT. I'm more than open to any suggestions of different ways to kind of, version control, because they're on a subscription with me, but like I don't control, you know, them adding a GPT into the sidebar. I can no longer take that away from them.
Can you not lock your, I mean, how do they access your
You can
courses
disable
online?
your-
Do they access?
You can disable. Hold on.
Go ahead.
So go ahead. No, go ahead, Sharon.
No, you're fine. You go ahead.
Yeah, you can disable the old GPTs. You know, you can actually go in there and turn them off. You know, just delete the GPT once you're done with it.
Look at Alisher. He already made it.
Yeah, but I don't want to delete them because let's say you are still a paying member and you click in the sidebar and you're used to using that GPT. I don't want you to feel like it's broke. I want to tell people, oh, there's version 2 now. Just go back to the article and get the link to the new version.
So you know
But
what?
then
then
I
you
could end
can
up
put a
having
link in
tons
the-
of them in my GPT as well. I wish GPTs had a
Right,
better
but
way
you
to
could
be
put that-
organized.
You know what I do?
Right, but the,
I don't.
okay.
You know what we did? So we have our website, right? So I have a subdomain, which is the hub, and that's where all subscribers go. So as soon as someone unsubscribes, right, they have no access to anything anymore. And our GPTs or whatever tools we have, we don't have GPTs up, but whatever tool we have is integrated in the website via iframe. They can't even access the stuff if they're not subscribed anymore. So they're blocked.
Oh, iframe, okay.
You see, we're moving out of GPTs into AI tutors and multibots, and there's, you know, because of this aspect of being able to
I
actually
agree. I think
secure
that's the only way to
and
protect it.
it's basically not in the, you know, OpenAI's architecture.
Yep.
But you know, there's ways you can kind of help inside of that architecture, but it's not perfect. So everybody that I've talked to who's working on this at a serious level has basically moved to API, and so you know, you can code your own custom API, or you can use, you know, the tools inside of AI Tutor, or you know, those are the options, and that actually ends up creating the secure environment with version control.
Yep.
Where, you know, the users that have the link are going to have that as a domain link in their browser, and there's your version control right there.
So they're essentially running through your AI tutor account, and then it's like copy the text and, you know, take it out of here. You're not saving it in your own AI app.
Well, it's not even that. It's on your website.
Yep.
So they're going through your website. They aren't touching AI Tutor at all. That's just an API that goes back into, it's another route.
Okay.
Out of
No,
the
it's just
website.
when Sharon said iframes. That's how I
Oh,
thought you were doing it.
so-
No, API makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is the following, so I never built GPT just because of that. Never, ever have I touched a GPT, right? I never built one. So for me, it's definitely system prompt LLM, right? Making an agent. You can use smaller models and all kinds of fun stuff. Of course, the GPT, I don't know how you guys move these GPTs somewhere. You need API, don't you? Don't you need to pay OpenAI, or is that completely for free?
No, you can make a link, and you can make the link available to the GPTs on
So it's-
your
yeah.
website, but you can't embed them in the website. And then once somebody has access to that link to that GPT, it's inside of their OpenAI account.
Yeah.
And
But
that
do you
creates
have
all
to
kinds of
rate limit your
nightmares.
API then?
So yes, Dave, I wouldn't do it like that. That is, in my eyes, that's not the professional way to go, because they can breathe, you know, they can.
No, this is
OpenAI
literally.
really locked you guys into some BS.
No,
if you
this is a
ask me.
bridge. This is a bridge. What I had previously was, here's the article and here's the entire prompt. So basically, here's all of my you know, IP. So quick solution was create a GPT, so you don't get to see the prompt, but yeah, you still get to use the prompt. But what it means is users who want to just interact with the prompt can still use it indefinitely, but people who wanted to build a business on the back of my prompts and my IPs don't get to see that part of it anymore. That was, you know, step one, protect the IP. But I think step two now obviously is that, you know, maintain access to it based on the subscription. So when you're integrating with the API, and obviously you have a membership login, but you're paying the bill then for them to integrate with your API. So, like, are you rate limiting? Are you tokens or quotas, or how,
Yes, you can.
somebody logs
You
into
can
your
do that.
website, they can, just go crazy.
Yeah, so of course you can rate limit, but at some point, depending on how many, how many users, you have, yeah, you can definitely rate limit. That's definitely a thing, but of course you're going to be paying, right? You're going to move from a free GPT use to something that you have to pay for. That's just something you have to consider, right? Because if these GPTs are for free, you're not going to necessarily be able to use the LLMs totally for free, but there are possibilities. Right now, we have Grok, we are using Whisper, and we're using it with our free tier. Everything has a limit, but you just have to consider that. Would you rather use the GPTs and try to lock them in better, the way Kirk just explained, or would you take it a step further and move away from GPTs? That is just a question that you have to ask yourself.
Well, I was actually saying the GPTs are really hard to get security on, and I tried for a year to make that work, and
Yeah.
that was completely abandoned.
I wouldn't do that.
And an entire whole service was created
Yeah.
because the GPTs were that hard to secure. So, that's where you basically end up having a number of models that you create a connection to,
Yeah.
or yeah, honestly, that's at some level that's the only way until OpenAI fixes this issue with the way that GPTs are available and makes them embeddable single use, but that's not the case. So, so as a result, you can use AI Tutor and go from there. So Ross has some stuff. There's Mighty Networks and stuff. If I don't know, are you on the Mighty Networks yet?
I'm not even sure,
Dave?
to be honest. Not even sure.
Yeah, I
I've been
should
so
check with
busy. I
them, because
haven't checked in with Ross or anybody else recently. I've just been crazy busy.
yeah, Mighty Networks.
yeah.
Alice, could you tell them about Mighty Networks and
Alicia's
what you
working
guys do
hard,
there?
but Ross is coming on. Alicia's working hard, but Ross is
Okay.
coming on.
All right, there we go.
Can I ask Alicia something before we, I just brought Tech in Schools up. Kirk, why are you not co-host? What did I do? I'm sorry that you're not co-host.
I don't need to be co-host. I get glitched out and it sucks.
Yes,
but-
you do. I don't care. Yes, you do. Alicia, awesome. So you already have a download button. So I'm still working on it. It seems to work well on my side too. I've been talking too much right now. But anyways, so you have it seems to be working. Did you already do the chunk code part?
I thought I did, but it might not be working yet.
Okay.
I think 25 megabytes is about 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So watch out for that. So whatever you put in,
Okay.
make sure it's under 30 minutes.
It's under that. Okay. Is it already link? No, it's not Spaces link yet. It's just trying to get transcription in general.
Yeah, it's just like an audio to transcription.
Okay, 25 megabyte. That's about 30 minutes. Okay. Thank you. Hey, Ross, Nick, how you guys doing? Is Ross alive? Doesn't seem like it. No one hears Ross, right? He's on mute for me.
He's dead
Yeah, I
to
don't
me.
hear anything. So yeah, I'm over here bringing the transcript in, the output of my thing, and then requesting for the Grok information and going through that process.
Hallie, what about you?
Yeah, I'm really behind, but it's okay.
Okay, so what we're going to do, so yeah, if you can't, because so the thing is that When we're done with today's class, and if we have a certain code ready, you can basically upload certain files. Because the thing is now, what we're doing, we're really with the GitHub, you really work closely with the AI. So it's you asking the AI the questions, the AI giving stuff back to you, and then these are the things that you implement into your code. So it's basically a copy and paste. You have to create files and then you copy and paste your stuff. So that's basically what Alisher is doing, and that's what I'm doing, and that's what Kirk is also doing. So this is the way you work with an AI. Of course, during the process, you might run into errors. Then these errors are given back to the AI, and that's how you work closely with the AI. You break stuff, you learn about it, you can ask the AI questions, and that's how you, at some point, finally get to your result. But if if you want to be part of this and keep going with us, of course, we can give you our code, I would say. What are your thoughts, Alisher?
Oh, yeah, I was at the end of today, I was going to add this to public GitHub.
Yeah, so
This transcription page.
at that moment, you can either then update your repository, right? And then, pull it back into your VS Code. I don't know if you can do via branch or so, but Alisher can probably explain that next time. Yeah, that would probably be the easiest way now, because it gets interesting when you start to work with the AI and try to build this code. It's fun though, but that's something that you're going to learn along the way, is to build alongside AI and get a little bit more independent. And then when things really break, then you're like, oh gosh, Alisher, help me.
Right. Yeah. I know I'm doing something wrong because I know AI is here to help me, but I think I took a wrong turn somewhere along the way. So I
What
just
happened?
wondered.
Where are you?
It's still telling me to download the different types of the home. Here, let me scroll up. I have a lot of code in here. Home run and then bin bash that I needed to add. I don't really know, so I just know I messed up. So I'm trying to figure out where I did.
So what you can do when you get those errors in your terminal, you give that to AI and you say, hey, this is what's going on. And usually the AI you have AI Tutor too, don't you?
Yeah, that's what I'm using right now to
Yeah,
paste
cool.
everything into.
Yeah, that's the best way to go. I just had a couple errors too. I just fixed it. Pablo, can you please chill? Be a good dog. You too, both of you. Be good dogs. Be good dogs. Sorry about that. I'll be
Yeah,
right
I'm
back.
also gonna post this
So-
right now so you guys can grab it and try to use it, because I got rate limited, so been testing today.
Rate limit.
Can
Where did you get rate limited?
I got rate limited for transcriptions because I was testing some pretty long videos before. Some pretty long audio.
Why are you transcribing OnlyFans though?
We're using Grok and Whisper. Oh, you're making a joke, and I didn't get it. Ha ha
Come
ha.
on, Sharon.
These Irish
It's not
jokes.
all being efficient.
Alisher, did you get rate limited by Grok?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, cool. How many did you transcribe?
I have no idea because I have some. I tried one of these spaces, the Wednesday spaces that are 4 hours, right? I tried like 5 or 6 of them. So
I had to laugh.
Testing.
Yeah,
and whatnot.
I had to laugh when Nick got blocked from GitHub for 24 hours from pulling too many repositories. That's so funny.
how hard do you think it would be to build like a local switch like into this application so that it uses Whisper on the local system?
How fast does Whisper on localhost compared to Grok servers?
incredibly fast on the system I built.
Yeah, but I mean,
use
you
this
got to think
for
about
running
the insane computational powers of Grok. You know, they're
Well,
built for like
I'm not
fast
disagreeing.
inference for something like Llama 400B. So it's not that hard. I mean, you could switch it, right? You just need to run it locally with however you run Whisper locally.
Yeah, I can actually. I mean, this is an OC overclock system with overclock RAN and everything, and you know the highest gigabyte 4090 that there is. So it will actually run that 5B model, and but I mean I have to run that as Linux. I can't run it with Windows running simultaneously because Windows screws with the memory allocation. But yes, I can also run simultaneously 30 models if I want to. So if this my point is like I'm just trying to figure out if I could do this. It would be really cool to be able to run it, on local. But yeah, I'll look into it. Claude is pretty smart on that. I just picked up this 4090 last year in the fall. Before I think they actually stopped selling it.
I wonder if there's a way to copy like the entire GitHub repo. Do you guys know?
Say it again.
Is there a way to copy the whole GitHub repo?
No, we've been using the GitHub to whatever what you were sharing with me earlier, the GitHub translation thing.
Yeah.
That's the only way I know because of you guys. I have no better way. Why? What's the problem?
No, I just don't want to share this repo because it has my env.
Oh,
But I think I'll just make a new GitHub and share it with you guys.
Do you think you can share your JSON with me or no? The chat, the
Sure.
Twitter chat. Okay.
Yeah, let me go grab it.
UI, how does it look? Team general activity security.
Thank you, Alistair. What I'll do is I'll go get all the prompts used and I'll send that back to you.
Okay, I think I could just add it as like a new repo and then share it that way.
So Dave, what are you thinking? What do you want to do with your GPTs?
I'm not going to do anything right now. The amount of paid subscribers doesn't warrant me building a membership app and having the API. But what's good is I'm already building an AI image app. So I already have taken care of entitlements and credits and membership and all of that sort of stuff. So I can see when subscriptions reaches a kind of specific growth point, then it's turn off GPTs, activate a membership website, and then all members, that's where you get the GPTs. And then, we can figure that part of it out. But I see it would be like we have one tier in Scalable AI and we're launching a second tier, but I see this would be like a mid tier because we'd also be paying for the AI subscription as well, rather than, like we're getting paid for our time to write the articles right now. Whereas if we charge the same price and then we pay for the AI, well, then it becomes less profitable. So I like this. I feel like it's not something I'm going to knee-jerk react with now. The knee-jerk reaction was to stop people stealing our IP. I feel like GBTs, to a certain extent, do that part of it now. That was the big problem, was somebody trying to build a business off the back of paying us $20, which I don't feel is fair whatsoever. But it also, GPTs, it's convenient for people on a low entry level. So I think I'm going to leave them on GPT and then look at the growth and just put a kind of line in the sand and say, when we get to, X subscribers, that's when then we build a membership site. And that's basically when we deactivate all GPTs that were there and just hide them behind a membership login.
Yep, that's a
Yeah,
good
the
idea.
version control.
What do you think? More than happy for feedback or suggestions, you and Kirk.
It's a good idea.
Sure.
No, I think
Just
it's a good
you
idea.
put a link in your system prompt for version when you want to go between new versions. Put a link into the GPT, and then you can have that as the first dialogue, right? So when they prompt, just want to let you know there's a new GPT available, and then you can take that out after a week or something like that. I don't know. But that's a way to do it. You can put the links to the new GPT inside of the system prompt, and the system will call it. I built an entire city. That is built 5. There's a place called GPtopia. And check it out. That was about 3 to 6 months of my life. Yeah, it's crazy.
And when you deactivate an old GPT, like, is it just a bog standard message that they present, or do we have any control over that?
You get nothing. It's just
Yeah,
dead.
yeah,
This
kinda what I
GPT
thought.
does not exist. It's really ugly.
It's
There's no
definitely
redirect.
it's not built for
There's
scale whatsoever, is it?
no. It's a demo site. It's where you can go in a very short period of time and make a demo of an agent, and without having anything fancy done, and then you can share that demo. But if you're going to do something professional and serious, like at a much higher level, then you have to get all the nuts and bolts running. Otherwise, you're going to deal with the security issue. People just going and collecting all your prompts, and and building a system, or really a competitor based upon your product. I mean, we saw at least 2 or 3 clone companies initiated, and some of them even raised capital on the basis of the business. It was really warped, because they'll go to a VC with all your prompts, and they'll get funding. It's really so screwed up.
I'm seeing people like charge $500 a month for membership, and get like 200 members, and not just our prompts, but I see them just stealing everybody's prompts. It's like, it's crazy. You're trying to be fair to the market as well. I think that for me is kind of important as well.
I mean, but realistically, as you're working on this, you build yourself an unexposed prompt engine, right? That is your prompt creator, and that's your custom prompt designer. And so you can iterate on your old, system prompts faster than people can steal them. So you could be up to like version 10 with higher functionality features and operation while they're trying to go out there and mess with your version 1, right? Just you leave them in the dust.
Yeah, yeah,
That's actually the best
makes
model.
sense. You have like a hidden architect behind it, really.
That's the only way to. That's really the only way to seriously protect your IP, because people who are absolutely determined will find a way to figure out what it is that your prompts are doing.
Yeah, I
So,
you know what, I
yeah.
don't feel like the people that are kind of trying to profit off this at the moment. I feel like they're more probably just taking advantage of what was there, and now I see that, and I'm like, okay, well, it's not really difficult or technical for them if we say, here's the big 8,000 character prompt, copy and paste it, and I think that's going to alleviate some of those people. I'm not naive enough to believe that my prompts are life changing and everybody will try their best to hack into them and figure them out. I think it's kind of like yeah, you can have all of the alarms on a house. You're not trying to stop everybody getting in. You're just trying to make it more difficult than going down the road to somewhere else. And I think that's all I feel like now is it's just one little friction point for people who are already lazy. And I don't feel like most of those people are going to even try to figure out how to break into our GPTs and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, I'll be surprised if they do, and I'll take it as a compliment and a frustration. But yeah, I think this is stage one. I feel a little bit better about just protecting that, because it's crazy. We've had so many discussions, me and Emma. We've had so many discussions, been invited on spaces, DMs, people saying amazing stuff about you. And like, I mean, literally 2 weeks later, they have stuff that they've just plagiarized from you, and they're nearly speaking with your voice. I mean, it's like it's so obvious as well. And we've actually heard these people speaking behind closed doors about us and what they're going to do and laughing about it and stuff like that as well,
Yeah, that's a real thing. It's extremely frustrating. That's for sure. So that's why that's why Zen went completely dark, like totally offline, out of spaces, out of everything.
I know he's such a big
Yeah,
brain, such a big brain,
yeah.
but he
Well, we
shares
had a
so
long
much.
discussion offline about like all of the cloning that was happening, and he just said, just you got to get this launched. And so he went and did it with the team, and now it's they are now offering beta access and rolling out all of the features. So they got the system architecture built out and stable enough to start beta users. So yeah, there's a community for them. So definitely check in with him on that. But they're doing a whole new platform with like it's got audio chat. So that's a whole nother thing.
Is it still that kind of city kind of idea?
Yeah, it's still within a city architecture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
So
it's such big brain, the stuff. When he was telling me about all of the different places, and the bots are people that you would go and chat to for different purposes, it like blew my mind.
yeah, but I'm moving in a whole different direction with swarming architecture, and also looking at embedding SaaS into web clients. So this is a different stuff, different level. That's why and Ross is already pretty much a master at doing this kind of stuff. So yeah, yeah, that's why Mighty Networks is a huge opportunity.
Yeah, and I think that's important as well,
Yeah.
is even protecting that education bubble that like was being given away. But again, even that part of what Ross and Alicia were doing was like stolen so often, wasn't it, on the timeline of people just listening in and not really contributing anything back. It was just kind of parasitic in a sense. And I think that
Oh
part
yeah,
for
I would
me, it's
totally
like that's
listen and
why
then yeah.
I built the SaaS part first instead of any of the APIs and images. I just wanted to lock that side down because I'm aware that now, even with these prompts, I'm like, yeah, I'm probably going to need to put a SaaS like wrapper around that. And I feel like most stuff we're going to have to do, even if it's free, you're probably going to have to put some sort of SaaS wrapper around it just to kind of, like be a gatekeeper for the people coming in.
Yep. And with artifacts and the tools that are coming down, it's a lot easier to build that even all the way down into Golang or C++ or whatever you want to build it as. So I mean so in other words, like there used to be a barrier to entry, having to buy or hire a very advanced developer, and that isn't the case anymore. So
No, I agree. And look, as somebody building websites for years, I looked into building SaaS apps lots of times, and I realized it's 6 months you have to kind of dedicate to what you're doing. And now, like it's a matter of weeks that I've built stuff. Like that part of it it's revolutionary now. I feel like it's like having AI in your corner for when you get stuck. Like Sharon literally said, like just copying and pasting the error logs in and what you're doing and where you're going. The Just for anybody else that's even following your tutorials here, I think what's really helpful if you're using AI Tutor or something else is having that initial priming prompt of here's what we're building. We're using Next.js. It's, TypeScript version of it. I'm hosting on, Vercel or wherever you're hosting. That saved me so much time building my app, just having that simple initial prompt every time to kind of set the scene. And I put lots of stuff in, like, work through this methodically, step by step, do not break the existing functionality, do not assume anything, ask me for what you need, I will share the code, don't come up with your own naming conventions. But like that was a long prompt initially, but now I just copy and paste it every time I'm asking it, even if it's just to solve error logs, having that prompt to kind of set the context of, well, those error logs in isolation, it could assume it's any sort of website or app you're building.
Yeah, and I think also being able to upload these files. So if you're an ultra, you could go to Beam. And what I started doing recently, like in the last few weeks, is I would literally just drag the whole project, or just drag like the folders that I'm working with, and it'll take majority of those TSX and TS files. Really, any files that's not an image.
Yeah, even files that even like database files like Neon or Superbase, I really do think it's worth spending the time copying and pasting them into AI sometimes. Like just giving it all of that awareness instead of I have a database and this is what I'm doing. I'm like, I dropped in so many tables into AI to say, now you have all of the information, make an informed decision on this. If you don't see it in the files, ask me for what you need, like connect the dots, but don't just randomly come up with stuff. One piece that I found really helped me is just using prefixes for all of my files and all of my functions, because I'm building, kind of similar to you, building on top of templates. And I needed to understand, well, what was the base template when I fuck up and I need to go backwards? What is my stuff versus, because I think I went 5 times with AI to implement an entitlement system, which is it's quota based with credit based. So there's kind of, it's kind of like a hybrid model. But going back was so easy, knowing that all of my databases started with 2 specific letters, all of my files started with 2 specific letters. Way easier to discern my stuff versus what was in the box.
Yeah, that's an interesting approach too. For me, I would just once in a while, I would just like cycle through as well. I would give it like the updated files. I used to have a little Python script that would pretty much put all of my files into one PDF and then properly name everything with relative paths. But this repo to text is useful for that too. Um, and I actually think this updated code, it does edit the database too. I've been playing around with that a little bit. And you know, especially with Vercel has so many limitations. Like, I don't think this transcription app can really go on Vercel
What
in
would
this
you?
state. Something like Railway, maybe.
Okay.
Just if you put it in Vercel, there's Vercel has a limit of how big of a file you can send out. And I think their limit is like either 2 MB or 3 MB, something like that. It's something pretty small, so you really can't send out a large file. There are workarounds, right? So some things we need to consider. I have a different branch of this where I have the Spaces downloader, I have the transcription, and I also have Google bucket storage integrated. So it's essentially like an S3 bucket. DigitalOcean has them. All these other services, AWS, Upload thing is essentially an S3 bucket. So you need some sort of file storage where you can store these audios realistically, right? So you can go back to them during the transcription and have the transcription point to the timestamp. So that's how you would want it to work ideally. But we can't really save audio right now because some of these audio files, they're several hours long. They're going to be 200 megabytes, 300 megabytes. So we can't exactly save them anywhere. So the only thing we're really saving is this transcription.
Ooh, I got a upload button. I got all of that. So I'm ready to go, but it threw up an error. I gotta see what happened. But at least I have the navigation. I have transcribe on the left. Then when you click on it, I can wait a minute. Yeah, it looks a little bit different than yours, but I made it. But it's throwing up an error. I'm gonna give it to AI Tutor. But at least I have the button and I can actually upload something. That's cool.
Yeah, if you want, what you can do is you can take my code and then tell it, here's the code where transcription works.
Yeah.
And so you can implement some of my code into your code and make it easier for you.
Yep. That's a good idea.
It's the first thing on top in the Jumbotron.
Okay.
And it looks like it does break it up. I'm not sure what's up with the time here, because these are typically over an hour long, but here it says it's 40 minutes. I'm also not sure where these are being stored or if there's any audio. Let's unmute and try to listen to it. Yeah, of course, this play thing doesn't really do much. But the transcription is there, so that's actually all being saved to Neon. It's creating new entries, create a new table. So you might need to run some sort of commands to migrate your database and update it.
Yeah, you know what my problem is? I didn't install the Grok dependencies, or what do you call it? The package. I didn't do that. That's why it's throwing up. Okay. Yeah, let me see. I'll do that. Yeah, but this is awesome. So this is, people, I'm not a pro here. I'm just following the instructions from AI. The thing is that so what Alisher said earlier this GitHub converter is really awesome. Alisher, again, thank you guys for building such a thing because it makes it so much easier. And then second of all, the Grok documentation, because then the AI has a lot of direction and it usually doesn't do anything wrong then. If it has enough instruction, then it usually does the right thing.
Yeah, and it also, some of it is being able to work the software, like Visual Studio Code. Some things you'll be able to fix yourself. It's also, a little bit of experience as well. So if you know that there's some errors because you're using TypeScript that you can have a workaround for, you can implement that easily. Some things like packages, for example. I think over time, the more projects you do, the more coding you do, you're gonna realize like, okay, well, if this is the first time I'm using this package, I probably need to install it. And this is using pnpm, so I need to run pnpm install Grok SDK instead of just regular npm.
Okay, I messed up. I did the same thing again. What do I do now? Did I mess up my whole project?
No, you should be fine. Just run pnpm install.
Well, I did npm. Now it's doing it. How can I stop it?
Oh, Control C.
Control C. Okay. See, I always do that same thing. What would happen? I would break my whole thing, right? If I were to do it that way.
No, it should be fine. You could always revert. You can always delete the files that it creates and reinstall. It's not
Oh,
really too much of a problem.
okay. Okay, cool.
So is everything that I need actually in this JSON? Like I just like the code output and everything to build the file folder?
Yeah, everything besides the actual final product.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Which alternatively, what you could also do is you can go up to the repo and let's see what this repo is made of. You can go to this repo and you can pretty much take like the app and the lib folders from the repo and just replace them, throw them into your project. There's a few files in there, and there's also the updated schema in there as well that you'll need for your database. And if you want, Sharon, you could also hop in the live stream and share your screen. We can troubleshoot together.
Yeah, I'm trying now. I just fixed it. Let's see if it works. I'm uploading an MP3. Can I even upload it? Wait a minute, it's throwing up an error. So Grok doesn't exist in target module. Import DB from libdb drizzle. Okay, I got to do that probably. Yeah, I can come on the stream and share. Let me just paste it into AI. Okay, so StreamYard. This is fun, y'all. I could do this stuff all day.